Okay, we're going to take a look at simultaneous equations. So for our first question here, in these questions we'll be asked to find x and y. And we'll know it's simultaneous equations. Sometimes they say it in the question, but there'll always be two lines with an x and a y in them, or two letters, sometimes A and B, but x and y is generally what they use. So what we do first is we draw a line underneath, and we're going to try and add the sums. So if we add the x values there, x and 2x, they won't add to give me 0. Whereas if I look at the y's, there's a plus 1y and a minus 1y. They will add to give me 0, and that's the whole aim, is that one of the letters will add to give me 0. So if that happens straight away, then that means I can jump straight into my question, and I can say, well, they're going to go, that'll add to give me 0. 2x and another x is going to add to give me 3x, and my 7 and my 5 then are going to add to give me 12. That means now that x is going to come out to be 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute that back in into one of my lines to find what the y value is. Doesn't matter what line, I'm going to just happen to take the first one, but you could have taken the second one here either. So in this case, I know x is 4. So I'm going to substitute that in. So that's going to be 4 and y is equal to 7. I subtract 4 on both sides, which means that they will go, and I'm now left with y is equal to 7 take away 4, which is 3. So there are my x and my y points. Okay, let's take a look at a second question then, our question 2. So again, I start the same. I go to add the numbers together. 3x and 1x, that'll give me 4, so that's not a 0. 2y take away a y, they won't have to give me a 0. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to multiply one of the lines or two of the lines by a number. I want the y's to have the same number in front but a different sign. So I'm going to multiply this bottom line by 2, because that will mean I'll have a 2y in here, and then my 2y and my minus 2y will cancel. So I'm going to write my sum out again. I'm going to keep the 3x plus 2y equals 17. And now I'm going to multiply every part of my second line by 2, making that 2x minus 2y, and that's going to equal 8. And I draw my line underneath again as if I'm going to start again. So I can now see that the 2y minus 2y will cancel. And I'm left there with 3x's and 2x's. That will add to give me 5x. And 8 and 17 will add to give me 25. I'm going to divide both sides by 5 to get x is equal to 5. And I end up there with my x value. I still need to get my y value, and I do that by taking one of the lines, the first or the second line, and I'm going to substitute it in. So I'm going to take the first line, but you could have taken the second line there as well from the question. In for x is going to go the number 5, because that's what we found for x. It's going to be 3 by 5 plus 2y equals 17. That's going to be 15 and 2y equals 17. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides, so that I end up with 2y is equal to 17, take away 15, which is 2, which means y is going to be the number 1. And I have my x and my y value there. The last example that we're going to take a look at now is this question 3 here. And as you can see, we need to find x and y, but we also need to verify my answers. So I'll show you how to do that at the end. But we start the exact same. I'm going to draw a line underneath, and I'm going to see, do my x's add to give 0 or do my y's add to give 0? And neither of them do. So what I want to do now is I want to make my y's the same number. I know that 2 and 3 both go into 6. So I'm going to multiply the top line by 3 so that this becomes a 6. And the bottom line by 2 so that this becomes a 6. Now what I also have to notice here is that one of them should be plus and one of them should be minus. So I'm going to have to change the signs on one of the lines as well, because I wanted one of them to be a plus 6. I want it to be minus 6 so that they'll add to give me 0. So I'm going to write them both out anyway, multiplied, and we'll change the signs afterwards. So I'm going to multiply my top line by 3. So 3 by 5 is going to give me 15x. Minus 2 3s, that's 6y. And then that's going to be 48. My second line then, I'm multiplying all that by 2. So that's going to make that a 2x, a minus 6y, and equals 22. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the signs on one of the lines, because these two here actually add to give me a minus 12y. I need them to add to give me 0. So I'm going to change the signs on the bottom line here. And I've changed all of them, so now I am allowed to do that. So 15x take away 2 is going to give me, that's going to be a 13x my y's have cancelled, and that's going to give me 48 take away 22, which is going to leave me with 26. I'll divide both sides by 13 so that I get x is equal to 26 divided by 13, which is the number 2. I'm not finished yet. I have to find my y, so I take one of the lines. Again, it doesn't matter what one. I'm going to just take the second one so that I can find what my y value is. In for my x is going to go my number 2 from here, because I know x is 2. Minus 2y equals 16. That is 10 minus 2y is equal to 16. I know I want to get rid of the 10 on this side, so I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides. And I'm left with minus 2y is equal to 6. Minus 2 by something gave me 6, so that something must have been a minus 3. The other thing I can do here is I can divide over here by minus 2. And then in my calculator, if I'm not sure, I can always check, and that will give me a minus 3. My last little bit here is to verify my answers. To verify my answers, what I do is I take my x and my y values, the two values that I got, and I substitute them into both lines to show that they work. So if I have x is 2 and y is equal to minus 3, I'm going to write down my two lines from my question at the top, and I'm going to show that it works. Okay, so in here is going to go in 5, in for my x goes 2, minus 2, in for my y goes minus 3, and that should equal 16. That's going to be 10. Minus by minus is going to be a plus, 2 3s are 6, equals 16, so that is correct. I'll have in for x is going to go the number 2, minus 3, and in for y goes a minus 3, and that equals 11. That's 2 minus by a minus gives a plus 9, and that does equal 11. And at the end, I have to write that that means that that is verified to get my full marks. And that is all the different types of simultaneous equations that we can be asked about.